evidence that they're connected to the FSB, Russian internal intelligence services. So they have a problem. Siren.
Yeah. Should we go to a shelter or something?
Yeah, we should probably go to a shelter, yeah. If we want to get a look at the other side of things that isn't reported as much, we could go and talk to the anarchists. They're doing aid. They're taking stuff all over Ukraine. They're not making a big noise about it, but they're doing it not just to anarchist groups, to any soldiers that need it. You know.
How will the Nazi influence grow? Well, yes, that's 100%. I mean, but again, that's on Putin. That's on America too. Damn, you said the same shit as this guy? It's not just the Azov battalion either, but at this point, look. At this point, it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, it's just, there's nothing you can do about it. Once Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, it's a wrap. It's a complete fucking wrap. After that, it's over. If Zelensky was worried about more reactionary forces influencing his policy decisions and whatnot, if Zelensky was influenced by how much, as his defense minister said, even in the lead up to Russia invading Ukraine, if he was worried about like nationalist sentiments holding root and growing before, then it's so much. I mean, it's so much more prominent after this. You have Zelensky from 2019 where he goes to the east and his far-right groups refuses to de-escalate. It looked like he wasn't in full control of his military, at least not in the separatist zone. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter, you know? All you can do, you said the same shit and people got so mad at you, you called you pro-Russia or pro-Azov. I know. Well, it's because people aren't charitable. Listen, didn't the Azov party do so poorly in elections they had to disband? No, the Azov battalion in and of itself is somewhat linked to Svoboda, which is the far-right nationalist party, but there are numerous other far-right brigades as well on top of the Azov battalion, and there's a lot of nationalistic sentiment in Ukraine, some of which is literally baked into Ukrainian freedom away from Russia. Okay, this is the reason why this is the reason why I've said since the beginning that it's a fucking, it's just a powder keg waiting to fucking explode. Azov is also the region, obviously. But just like the Taliban grew in influence and prominence after the American invasion of Afghanistan, the same will happen to nationalist forces within Ukraine. But at this point, all support. By your logic, every country that the U.S. invade or bomb or attack have the right to, what? Retribute itself? What? What were you trying to say? I don't even know what you were trying to say there, but... That's how blowback happens. I said before the invasion, if Russia invaded, Azov would get all the fame and support while the anarchists would die on the front lines. Look. Right to retribution is what he's saying. Yeah, it's called blowback. For the record. Or retaliation. But yeah, there's a word for it. It's called blowback. And it happens a lot. It's most likely going to happen here as well. Taliban are utterly unlike the nationalists in the Ukraine. This is a false equivalency, brother. What? Let's be clear. There was the largest protest in the history in the U.S. against the Iraq War. Not necessarily. The Taliban are utterly unlike the nationalists. Hey, dummy. In America, you can protest without like scrutiny of going to jail for 15 fucking years. They've literally codified it in Russia, and 5,000 people still got arrested. Shut the fuck up, maybe. Okay? And what's the difference between the Taliban and the Azov battalion? I would love to hear. what you have to tell me on that. No. Explain to me what the difference is. I want to know what the difference is. I think your initial take of Ukraine becoming like Afghanistan is spot on. Just replace the Taliban with Azov. That's precisely what I've been saying since day one. And that's what liberals say too. But liberals, when they say Ukraine is Russia's Afghanistan, just like Afghanistan was Russia's Afghanistan, what they mean is they don't give a fuck about the Ukrainians living in Ukraine, which is now turning into Afghanistan. That's the difference. I don't think we should fight. I don't think we should fight down to every last Ukrainian. But a lot of Americans, they don't care. A lot of people in the West don't care. Shaming Russians for not protesting is dumb. Even Moldovan Mama Liga is like dunking on it. Shaming Russians for not protesting is dumb. Rus cops ruin lives just for that. Yeah. Religious extremism is different. Religion extremism is the difference. Oh, you're just a fucking edgy atheist. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, no, the Azov are famously, the Azov battalion famously not, they're just nationalists. They're just Nazis. They're not, Muslim, which is way worse. Right? That's what you're trying to say? That's cool. Got it. You literally just said the difference between the Azov battalion and Taliban is that one's white and one's not. That's it. That's all you said. But it was cool that you left it out. I mean, that you let that out. Plus, there's plenty of like other kinds of extremism within the Azov battalion. Regardless, it's not even just the Azov battalion. It's, nationalistic, fascist attitudes. White supremacist organizations and Islamic fundamentalist organizations operate very similarly. They even target similar demographics for recruitment and recruit in similar ways. Yes. And also, they both get funding from the United States of America. The main difference there, however, is that oftentimes the Nazis don't actually attack the United States, which they consider to be a white supremacist nation. Whereas the United States will then turn on the same Islamic fundamentalists and extremists that they once armed and trained. But it's virtually indistinguishable. The making of a Christian Taliban in Ukraine. Yeah. My girlfriend is Ukrainian and tells me that Azov battalion isn't even supported by the majority of citizens in the country. They don't hold these ideals either. Focusing on them so much isn't helping anyone except Russia. I agree, which is why I think it's fucking disgusting that the Western media routinely, exclusively relies almost on Azov battalion information, whitewashing the Azov battalion, making it seem like all the military gains that are being done are not by the Ukrainian forces, but instead of Azov battalion, which is really fucked up and really gross. It's us being gross and fucked up, okay? That's what's incredibly fucking frustrating, is that we are doing exactly the same shit. The Brave Mujahideen 2.0, once again,